What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Cosmic Wonder. I'm Warren Thompson, and we have some outstanding news today when it comes to the strikes. The WGA and the studios and streaming services have reached an agreement finally. We have a lot of details about what happened on Saturday and Sunday, and of course, we'll talk about everything that we know so far. Another big thing is that the picketing has stopped outside of the studios right now. The WGA has called for an end to the picketing. Of course, that comes with this new deal between the WGA and the studios. And fortunately for everybody, they have agreed to a final deal that is apparently very good for the WGA. The writers are getting a good deal. Now, this is not the end of both strikes. The actor strikes are still happening. That's the SAG-AFTRA strike that is still going on. But once the writer strike gets cleared up, the actors are next. And it seems like both sides, the writers and the studios, have been pretty reasonable. It sounds like this deal is pretty good. The writers are happy with it. So let's break down what we know about what happened over the weekend in the meetings between the two different sides, the studios and the writers. And of course, if you're new, be sure to subscribe to the channel so you can stay up to date on all the latest news. And if you subscribe and leave a comment, you're automatically entered in our giveaway for a chance to win an Xbox Series X, a PS5, some Marvel Legends items, or some DC items. We pick one winner at the end of each month, and the winner gets to pick one item. We only have 5 days left, so be sure to enter. So the two sides have agreed on a deal. However, it does need to be finalized. Basically, what that means is they have to draw up the final contracts. The lawyers have to look over them, and then each party has to sign. Now, they have already agreed on the deals. Both sides have, and they both have released statements together stating they have reached a deal. So it is official. They have come to the conclusion that the deal that they put on the table Sunday night, last night, is acceptable for both sides. And actually, the WGA released this statement. We can say with great pride that this deal is exceptional, with meaningful gains and protections for writers in every sector of the membership. So that's awesome. The Writers Guild is clearly happy with what they are getting in this new deal. And this is a big deal because this was a historic strike. It lasted 146 days. Here's what the Hollywood Reporter had to say about this. After several long consecutive days of negotiations, the Writers Guild of America and the labor group representing the studios and streamers have reached a tentative deal on a new contract and a major development that could precipitate the end of a historic 146-day writer strike. The Writers Guild of America emailed the strike captains the news on Sunday night and shortly after its negotiating committee and informed all the members, and they stated, and I quote, "We have reached a tentative agreement on a new 2023 MBA, which is to say an agreement in principle on all deal points subject to drafting final contract language." And then they also stated, again, "We can say with great pride that this deal is exceptional with meaningful gains and protections for writers in every sector of the membership." And this was all stated in an email that the WGA emailed the strike captains and the negotiating committee. And like I mentioned, the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers confirmed this news in a joint statement with the WGA about the deal on Sunday. So this has been confirmed by both sides. It's not just one side stating, hey, we think we got a deal. No, it is both sides agreeing, yes, we have a deal. Now let's drop the paperwork and finalize it. As far as what we know about what took place on Sunday and Saturday, this is what the Hollywood Reporter stated. The parties came to terms on a provisional 3-year agreement, which will need to be ratified by WGA members to take effect. On Sunday, after studios responded to last-minute union asks that day, specifics of the deal affecting around 11,500 WGA members weren't available as of press time, though they will emerge in the next few days. And here's what they had to say about why all of that information is not released yet. And keep in mind, they have not revealed this to the members yet. So it's not that it hasn't been revealed to the public yet. They literally haven't shared it with the members of the WGA yet. Here's what they said. In its message to members, the union's negotiating committee asked for patience on disclosing the fine print of the deal. And they stated, and I quote, "What remains now is for our staff to make sure everything we have agreed to is codified in final contract language. And though we are eager to share the details of what has been achieved with you, we cannot do that until the last I is dotted." This obviously makes sense. The lawyers have not completed the final contracts and each side has not signed the final contract. And until they do that, They don't want to share anything. They want to make sure it's done first. They don't want to get the hopes up of everybody, even though they have agreed to a deal. Both sides have. They have both publicly stated together in a joint statement that they have come to a deal and that the strikes are over. The WGA has even called for the picketing to stop. So no more picketing outside of studios. This is all but done. Both sides have agreed, but they have to dot the I's and they have to officially sign. That's when it goes into effect, and that is what everybody is waiting for. Once that happens, then everything can be disclosed. So here's what happens now. The deal will first go to the union's negotiating committee for a vote, then to the WGA West Board and the WGA East Council for approval. Both referendums are tentatively scheduled for Tuesday, tomorrow. If rubber stamped by those leaders, board and council will also vote on whether to end the strike. Once these leadership votes have taken place, members will receive a summary of the agreement and a memorandum of the agreement prior to their own ratification vote. In the meantime, the WGA has suspended picketing while reminding members that no one is to return to work until the union gives the green light. So basically what has to happen now is all of the legal requirements. Both sides have agreed. Again, they issued a joint statement. It's out there in the public. Everybody knows, but now they have to go through the legal steps. So the members of the WGA, the leadership, they're going to vote. It's going to pass because, again, they've already agreed to it and they've already released a statement that says that the new deal is quite exceptional and it's very good for them. So they're going to accept it in the vote. From there on out, the final contract between the two sides gets signed, and then the details of the deal, what everything is exactly, will get released to the members and, of course, the public. So this is all apparently happening on Tuesday. So hopefully it'll all be officially done this week, because now that the writer strike is over, it's time to move on to the actor strike. When it comes to the movie, TV, and streaming studios, this has all affected them greatly. This has definitely affected Marvel Studios. We've already had a few pushbacks and release dates, and projects have been put on hold due to these strikes. Deadpool 3 is a big one. It was right in the middle of filming and production for it got shut down. This was a big deal for Ryan Reynolds because a lot of what he does is writing on the spot with his improv. So that was a big hit to Deadpool. And then of course, when the actor strike started, everything just got shut down. So this is great news today that the writer strikes are over, because now they can get back to at least writing the rest of the Phase 5 and Phase 6 projects. Marvel Studios can also hire writers now, which has been a big thing recently. A lot of rumors going around about Avengers Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars getting new writers, and we've heard a lot of inside information about it. However, Marvel Studios couldn't officially do anything because of the strikes. So now they can do that. They can get the ball rolling for the writers for all of these projects. So hopefully now that this is done, the actor strikes will be worked on very, very soon. Hopefully immediately after the writer strikes officially end. So as far as the actor strikes are concerned, they are still going to be picketing for the actor strikes outside of studios, and the actors still won't be able to film. So as far as delays for Marvel Studios goes, they're still going to be delayed, unfortunately. Deadpool 3 won't pick up again until the actor strikes are done. But the good news is now that the writer strike is over, the delay won't be as much, because now the writers can continue to work on these scripts. That way they are done and ready for the actors to begin working on when the strike for the actors finally does finish. If the writer strike would continue to go on and end at the same time as the actor strike, then the writers wouldn't have had time to finish the scripts beforehand. So overall, for both sides, this is great news. It's a great win for the WGA, and now the delays for everything on the studios' side, they'll stop, or at least dramatically be decreased until the actor strikes are over as well. And the fact that they have negotiated with the WGA is really, really good news, and it should mean that the SAG-AFTRA should be getting a pretty decent deal, hopefully as well, pretty soon. But go ahead and let us know your thoughts about this awesome news in the comments down below. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the latest news. You can find us on Instagram and Twitter as well. And as always, thank you all so much for watching. Woof woof.